AITA for telling the truth about the night that killed my little brother at his 21st birthday dinner, 16 years too late? Throwaway. I'm 37 male. Last night, I set fire to what was left of my family with 12 words I've carried since I was 21. This is the longest post I'll ever write. If you only read one AITA in your life, let it be this one. My little brother Mason would have turned 37 yesterday. Instead, he's been dead since the summer of 2009. Official cause, single car accident. Driver, our older cousin Travis, then 25, walked away with scratches. Everyone called it a tragedy. Everyone still does. Except it wasn't an accident. That night is burned into my skull like a 4K movie I can't pause. It was the last weekend before I left for grad school. Mason was 21 in 3 weeks and already half a legend. Scholarship quarterback, 4.0, the kid who'd sneak homeless guys into the diner after closing to feed them. Travis, our golden oldest brother, had just gotten his third DUI wiped by Dad's lawyer and was spiraling. He showed up to the lake house already drunk, waving a bottle of Jock and screaming that we were throwing Mason a real man's party. I was on the dock with Mason when Travis roared up in Dad's new Tahoe. He threw the keys at Mason and said, "Let's see if the baby bro can handle a real truck." Mason laughed it off, but Travis kept goading him, calling him soft in front of his teammates. Mason hated letting anyone down more than anything in the world. I offered to drive. Travis punched me in the mouth and told me to stop cock-blocking the kid's birthday. Mason looked at me, shrugged like it was no big deal, and got behind the wheel. Travis climbed in shotgun. I begged them to wait. Mason said, "It's 10 minutes down the road, Cam. Chill." They never made it 10 minutes. The Tahoe rolled 6 times into a ravine. Mason was ejected. Travis walked out because he'd put his seatbelt on as a joke 5 seconds before impact. Blood alcohol came back at .21. The police report said driver error. Dad's lawyer made sure of it. Travis cried at the funeral, gave a speech about how Mason died doing what he loved, living fast. Everyone hugged him. I threw dirt on the coffin like he was the victim. I tried to speak up that week. Dad took me into his study, put 10 grand on hundreds on the desk and said, "Your mother won't survive losing 2 sons. Choose." I was 21. I chose silence. 16 years. 16 years of Thanksgivings where Travis tells the story of the night we lost Mason. 16 years of him being best man at my wedding, godfather to my kids, family hero. 16 years of me throwing up in the bathroom every time someone toasted St. Travis. Yesterday was Mason's 37th. The family still celebrate it like he's just late to the party. They rent the same lake house every year, same weekend, same lie. This year, Travis's wife announced she's pregnant with a boy. They're naming him Mason. That was the moment the leash snapped. Dinner was prime rib, Mason's favorite. 38 people around the table telling the same polished story. Travis stood up, glass raised, tears already starting. To my little brother who taught me how to be a man. I stood up too. I said calm as I've ever been in my life. Actually, let me tell the real story of the night Mason died. You could hear the lake outside. I told them everything. Every detail I've replayed a million times. Travis drunk and raging, the punch to my face, Mason's face when he took the keys because he didn't want to look weak. The way Travis laughed on the phone to 911 saying, "I think my brother's dead, LOL. I told him how Dad paid off the trooper, how Travis threatened to kill himself if anyone spoke up, and Mom begged me to let it go. How I've watched the wrong brother be buried in praise while the right one rots under a lie. Travis tried to lunge at me. My dad, 73, bad heart, had to be held back by 3 cousins. My mom started screaming that I was killing Mason all over again. Travis's wife threw up on the carpet. Someone called me a Judas. Someone else called me a hero. Most just cried. I ended with the 12 words I came to say. Mason didn't die living fast. He died because Travis murdered him, and you all helped cover it up. Then I put the original police file, the one Dad paid to bury, in the center of the table, next to the birthday cake shaped like a football, and walked out. I slept in my car last night. This morning my phone is dead from messages. Mom has been hospitalized for quote-quote heart issues. Travis lawyered up before breakfast. Half the family has unfriended me on everything.
The other half wants me to give a statement now that the statutes run out anyway. I don't care. I'm done protecting monsters from the truth. Tonight I'm driving to the cemetery with a bottle of peach schnapps, which Mason's actual favorite, and I'm gonna tell him happy birthday for the first time without lying. So, Reddit, AITA for finally telling the truth about the night my little brother was killed even though it happened 16 years ago and I just detonated 4 generations of family on what was supposed to be his celebration? Or did I just give Mason the only gift I had left? His real story, told out loud by the only person who was sober enough to remember it. TLDR, kept quiet for 16 years while my family turned my drunk, reckless older brother into a saint and my dead little brother into a cautionary tale. Broke the silence at his 37th birthday dinner and told 38 relatives that it wasn't an accident, it was vehicular homicide covered up by money and grief. Family exploded, mom in hospital, older brother threatening to sue for defamation. I've never felt lighter. AITA?